Yes, people, them, and welcome back to Now TV. I have some breaking injury news for you that Noni Madueke is set to undergo scans for a knee injury that he sustained in the Man City game yesterday. And we're going to get into that. Before we get into that, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you are new here to Now TV. And people, this doesn't get any better, does it? Because that's someone else that's been added to the injury table now, along with the likes of Jesus, along with the likes of Havertz, along with the likes of Odegaard. Obviously, Saka and Saliba have recently just returned from their injuries, but the position we are now talking about is the right wing, where Saka plays also. And we're not trying to overload Saka with games because Madueke has been injured. Ideally, you would have loved Saka to have an opportunity to take his time to get back to full form, with Madueke deputizing on the right wing in his absence. But with now that this injury has occurred for Noni Madueke, and also to say, like, even when I was watching the game yesterday, didn't seem like there was any problems with his knee or anything like that, because he was one of the best players in the first half, especially against City, just literally getting corners, taking on the fullback. Was it Kushinov? Or was it O'Reilly? No, I think it was taking on O'Reilly, who was the left back for City, and he was taking him on. It was a good battle, and we was getting some joy down the right-hand side. But now I've seen the clips that he was actually limping down to the changing rooms, down the tunnel at the Emirates when it was halftime. That clip has now been released online. And the reports are saying that initially there were ACL fears, but Ben Jacobs on X has said that there is no sight of an ACL fear. There's no sight of an ACL injury. So he squashed those fears right down. But Noni Madueke is set for a spell on the sidelines with this knee injury, whatever it is, and Arsenal being very coy on the situation. Now, what does that mean for the right-hand side? What does that mean for minutes for the likes of Saka, for the likes of Max Darman? Well, it probably means, or even Wanyeri to even deputize on the right wing until Saka gets back to full form. We have the likes of Vale on Wednesday, and we've got Newcastle ahead. So, for example, even Wanyeri could start on the right wing against Port Vale. He could start in the middle as well, where he is apparently going to be played more anyway. But I'm just looking at options because I'm not trying to rush Saka back. That's the first thought now, in my opinion. Do we start Saka against Port Vale just to get him some minutes in his legs, or do we bring him on for that game as well? I think we need to start utilizing Wanyeri as well on the right wing as well, because he's brilliant on the right wing. He's great on the right wing. That's where we saw him deputize on the right wing last season in Saka's absence, when Arteta was practically forced to use him at that point. Do you know what I mean? But with the Noni Madueke injury, I feel sad for him. I do feel sad for him. I will say that as well, because he's in a rich vein of form right now in terms of like playing well. Again, the final ball, the goals and assists do need to come for you to go to that next level. But alone, he's been one of our best attackers since coming in to Arsenal and starting the season. He's been very direct. He's been taking on each and every fullback he's come up against and got joy. And as I said literally a couple of moments ago, once you add those goals and assists, you'll just go to the next level. But he's been the brightest spark. He also, as we know, came into Arsenal with heavy controversy. A lot of people, I didn't want him at the club, but I mean, I'm talking about in terms of the abuse. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the abuse was absolutely ridiculous when he did join the club. So, yeah. And then he turned it around and he got a standing ovation. Was it at Nottingham Forest? Yeah, he got a standing ovation at Nottingham Forest. And it's like, wow, who would have thought that this guy, where 90% of the fan base didn't want him, gets a standing ovation for the performances that he's put in? That tells you how much Noni Madueke has changed the minds of a lot of Arsenal fans, including myself. I said I didn't want another Chelsea man in here. I didn't want another Chelsea man. But we got him. And you know what? I've been happy with him. But it's just unfortunate that now he is, going to be set for a spell on the sidelines. He's had a good time with England as well. Thomas Tuchel has utilised him as well. He got his first England goal and everything else. And, he's taken players out of position that will staples of the England team in the last couple of years, I would say, with the likes of Jared Bowen and everyone else. So, Yeah, this is counterproductive, one would say. One would say this is very counterproductive to the system, but we should be able to get through because the next 5 games now, I think we should win and we should be able to win them without Madueke anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like the next 5 games, especially the next 2, which being that is Port Vale away in the League Cup. And then obviously we've got Newcastle United on Sunday, I think. I think it's Sunday. And both games are away. But I expect wins. But I expected a win against Man City, and that just depends on what the lineup is, what Mikel Arteta decides to do. But staying on Noni Madueke, this is unfortunate, but hopefully he makes a swift return and it's not as long as I think it may be. I don't think it will be that long. But let me know what you think about this in the comments below, people. If you are new here to Arsenal TV, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Leave a comment in the comments below, and we'll be back tomorrow.